under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes from August 4th to be passed around for everybody's signature. Any additions or corrections to the August 18th minutes? Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Byram and a second by Mr. Bray. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those pass. Old business, Mr. Long, Cambridge Quarters subdivision.
Okay, I want to cover some documents before we get into the recommendation to fix the flooding problem that I have here. I've obtained copies from the Planning Commission. It is a layout, an engineering plat that was done by Mr. William W. Bassett, an associate, is on file here in this building. Requirements that were supposed to have been done before and during this addition of the subdivision in question, which is Cambridge Quarters. And I have a letter here. I'll present you with a copy, and I just want to be brief with it. It says that lots 1 and 2 in this is in section 1, which is the first section of this session we're dealing with. I have lot number 1. My neighbor has lot number 2. It says here that the lots are at a elevation of 820 feet. They are to be backfilled by 24 inches and built on that backfill. Currently, lot 2 was backfilled 2 feet. Lot 1 is still at 820 feet. So my question is, how did this lot get permitted to be built without this 2 foot of backfill that was required by and approved by this county? I don't know how it got approved, so I don't know if you guys can answer that or not, but that building permit, either the builder ignored it or it wasn't required, and I'm in the process of finding out why or how that got approved. My lot is 820, elevation 820 feet, as it was when Mr. Bassett did this extensive layout of everything that was to be done in four sections of this Cambridge Quarters subdivision. 1 section is completed, 3 remain. So why is that important? Well, it's important because I had 14 inches of water in my home on June the 14th. Had this been backfilled to 2 feet, my home probably would not have flooded. So that would give me 10 extra inches. We wouldn't have possibly had any water in my home. So see what happens when you don't, or somebody allow this home to be built without going to and looking at Mr. Bassett's extensive layout that he did of this subdivision. And there's a lot of other requirements I want to go over here in a minute that wasn't met either, but that's the one that kind of just stung me the hardest.
What year was that, Mr. Long?
The letter here, well, in 1996 is when this was presented here by Mr. Bassett and approved. I think it had to be approved because it was on file in the county here, so county building.
It was recorded on January the 12th, 1996, according to the stamps on this document.
1996, thank you. So I thought it was in the 90s. I wasn't sure. I had to look at the paperwork, but in the 90s it was approved. And also it called for a retention pond immediately behind my property, and that retention pond is not there. It was not built. Had that retention pond been built, had it been built, maybe I wouldn't have the flooding problem that I experienced. Also, there was to be a concrete curb gutter transition immediately on the east side of 500 West to take care of storm surge for this subdivision. That has not been installed. Another reason why possibly that this property flooded of mine. So I heard last meeting, I heard Mr. Lake say that all these lots in the subdivision are ready to go. All they have to do is get a permit and start building on them. But gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, if you let people start building on sections 2, 3, and 4 of this Cambridge quarters, you're gonna flood the heck out of me and everybody else on 500 West. Because this plot, this engineering plot calls for extensive things to be done in this subdivision, and they've not been done. None of them has been done. Not one single thing has been done that Mr. Bassett laid out in this plan that he presented to the county, and it was approved. So you can kind of see how I'm a little frustrated because, and I don't know who to blame. I don't know if the county told the builder to do it, he didn't do it. I'm gonna find out. Or I don't know if the county even told the builder that they had to backfill the 2 feet, but that has stung me pretty hard, because right now I'm between $125,000 and $150,000 loss to rebuild my home, and that stings pretty hard, and I hope you can be empathetic with the fact that I'm out a lot of money, and all I'm asking is the county to fix this problem for me. We can't go back and scramble the omelet. The omelet's already been scrambled. My home's built. It's built 2 feet below where it's supposed to have been built. And I guess that's the way it's going to remain. Because I don't think it's going to get tore down and 2 foot of fill dirt's going to be put in there now and raise it up 2 feet like it should have been to begin with. So that brings me to the last point I want to make. Me and my neighbor have done some extensive research, and Mr. Bassett also was granted 250 foot of easement across the property on the east side of 500 by the previous owners. And I have a document that states that as well. And so far, the county remedy to me has been, we have to dig up 276 feet of that drainage tile and put in new drainage tile before they'll even touch the road, putting in a bigger culvert. And also, I was told the last meeting that that culvert was 15 inches. Well, I went out and did some work and measurement, and I looked at it, it's 12 inches. It's got at least 1.5 inches of dirt and mud in the bottom of that culvert. So it's not even a full 12 inches. So it's not 15, it's 12. And the tile and the drainage that I'm talking about that was installed sometime back in the 90s, I don't know when it was installed, but Mr. Bassett got an easement from the previous owners of that property that we could be used for the drainage of this subdivision. There's no reason that you can't tie into that current 15-inch tile, because right now all it's doing is water's flowing over the top of it. It's not even hooked to it. So when my house flooded, I went down and looked, water was blowing over the top. It's just got a metal grate over the top of that fill tile, 15-inch fill tile. Water wasn't even going down into the hole. It's blowing right over the top of it. So I'm going to ask this drainage board to, 1 or 2, put in another 12-inch tile and hook it into that 15-inch fill tile, because it's not being utilized. Why would me and my neighbor want to dig up 276 feet and put in new drainage tile when it's not necessary? What's there is not even being utilized. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to propose that you leave the 12-inch there, or clean it out and put another 12 or 15 or whatever you want to do, because you say you can't put a 24, although there's over 4 foot of dirt between the top of that culvert and the road foundation. I measured that as well. So maybe 4 foot's not enough, but there's definitely enough to put 12 or 15-inch tile and hook it into that current 15-inch tile that's there and use it instead of letting water just blow over the top of it. So that's my recommendation. I've got to have some relief, because at some point in time I'm going to need to sell this home. I can't sell it if it's going to flood again, and I was told by Mr. Lake it's going to flood again. It's just a matter of time. So I don't know, can anybody help me and tell me or how this property got approved, this building permit got approved without this 2 foot of field work being done? I don't know. I'm at a loss. But anyway, the research that I've done, I've got all this, and I'll present you with a copy of it here. So that's
Okay.
where I'm at. So I need to know if the county's gonna fix this or not fix it. Because I don't wanna take legal action. I'm hoping that we can resolve this. And I'm trying to do everything I can to present something feasible that you might buy into. But you can see, I'm a little frustrated because my home shouldn't even flood it to begin with.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Long. Comments from this board?
Yeah, Mr. Long, when your builder pulled a permit, all he pulled was a location permit, which locates the house on the property.
Pardon me?
He pulled a location permit.
He didn't.
There is no building permit in Howard County, still not today. So there's nobody checking to see that the builder did the job that he was supposed to do.
Okay, well, was he not told about this?
Well, we don't know, we don't know that, but what we do know is that the county would not have normally gone out to check to see that the foundation was the proper elevation, unfortunately.
Well, I have a hard time, I hear you, and it's good that the county's a little lax when it comes to letting somebody build something. I can appreciate that, but if it's gonna cause a flooding problem, something's gotta be done here. You just can't let people start building willy-nilly and causing a flooding issue. So, I don't know, this plan that Mr. Bassett did was pretty extensive. And if it's not gonna be followed, we're gonna have more flooding problems. As I said, there's no retention pond, there is no storm gutter that's been installed, and there's also no underground subsurface drainage for these other 3 subdivisions. So if in fact, as it was stated to me, they can start building on these lots anytime, it's gonna cause more flooding. Something's gotta be done. Why do these engineering plats if nobody is gonna follow what they state? So I need to know where you guys are at on what I proposed to fix the problem. Am I gonna have to keep coming to these meetings? Am I gonna get an answer, or are these, where are we at?
Can we see the paperwork that
Sure.
you say you found?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Lake, if I'm correct, there's nobody that's currently got a permit to build at this time, correct?
So I guess I'd have a couple statements. Mr. Long, you are correct. I misspoke on the culvert size. It is a 12-inch culvert under the road. It's a road culvert. It is a 15-inch drain in your off-site subdivision drainage easement. That is correct. The one thing that I don't think you're quite understanding yet, or what misinformation is the document that you're providing to the board right now is an overview of a 4-section subdivision that Mr. Bassett had laid out. And currently, there is only 2 sections approved, and those 2 sections, yes, they could build houses on them today. So Section 1 and Section 2 has been platted and is subdivided and is ready for building lots. Section 3 and Section 4 have never been approved or even seen, I don't think, by any board. It was just an overview, and you'd have to talk to potentially Mr. Sheeline's office on how that worked back in the 90s. But they would do a general overview of the entire plat and then bring in just the sections. But Section 1 and 2 is platted, and they can get a building permit on them today. Because Section 3 and 4 is a later phase. That's where your plat on the pond, your detention basin, back in the 90s, the detention requirements were different than they are today as well. So the pond would be much larger today, under today's standards, than it would have been back then.
Well,
On that, now I do want to say, on this overview plat, you are spot on. I had never seen a requirement of a septic system area being required to be filled 2 feet. And it's on that plan. But the one that was approved, or the one that went through planning commission and this board, is section 1, and that is not on that plat. So that is why it was not done, is because on the approved plat, it's not on there. So I don't know that anybody even saw it, would be my guess.
Well, how did it not get saw, I guess, or seen?
Because this is not what went through for approval. What went through for approval is what is actually in the system today, is this document, section 1. This is what got approved. This is what's recorded and the legal document is. And that information is not on here. Now, it is on Mr. Bassett's overview plan, but I can tell you that no one, no boards or planning commission, you got this from the planning commission because he submitted it. And a lot of times, they wanted to see an overview, the bigger picture of what kind of subdivision they should
Okay,
do.
I'm only want to ask you one question on that. Shouldn't somebody look at the plan that was put in place? Because it was engineered. I mean, he spent money to get this done before it actually gets transferred over to a building permit. Shouldn't somebody close that loop?
Back in the 90s, I can't say who that person would have been.
I don't either. I have no idea. But anyway, getting back to my problem, we can't rehash it. We can't re-scramble it on it. The problem is the house is built and I'm just wanting it fixed. So I propose something I think is reasonable. I mean, where's this drainage board at on that, or do I have to come back for another answer, or where we at, or I don't know how you guys operate. Do you vote on something, or
Yes, we do.
we have to wait, or do I have to wait, or?
We vote a lot, but it just depends on the situation. And I don't know, to me, some of this is new information, is that correct? I don't know if that changes anything for these guys, but some of this is new tonight that we're getting.
All thing I'm wanting to do is fix it where my property doesn't flood again. And I think you can appreciate that, correct? I mean, and if that 12-inch culvert remains out there with an inch and a half of dirt in it, something's not done, it's gonna flood again. I'm gonna be right back where I'm at with another loss. I hope somebody will let me know something soon. Thank you.
No, if I can address the board,
Pass that back.
since I'm part of this. As Mr. Lake said, there's four sections here, 2 that are not approved, 2 that are. So we've managed to cut 2 of our fingers off of 4. We talked about in the last meeting about a watershed assessment. Mr. Lake said he needed 50% of the property owners. Where's this board at on that part? Are we ready to move forward with that? Because this got tabled. We want to go from a private drain to a regulated drain. Well, this is all about moving the responsibility and the cost of the responsibility to the proper avenues. Where are we at?
As I said the last meeting, I don't have the capacity in my schedule to schedule a town hall to have this type of conversation or this discussion, especially as far as making it a regulated drain, until I'm pushing towards the end of October right now, is where I'm at. I'm in October before I could do anything of that nature. And that was just a town hall to discuss replacing the drain at the cost of the subdivision. That was not regulating the drain. That's a whole nother monster.
I'm in favor of
That we can have that conversation in the town hall when we talk to these other landowners, but that's a much larger ask than just fixing the subdivision drain.
So how many homeowners would you have to contact, Mr. Blake?
What I normally look at is getting 50% of the landowners willing to move forward with a solution. So first we have to talk to those landowners.
Before a
Right now,
town
I
hall?
think there's 11 homes. in
Before a
that
town hall?
subdivision. I'll schedule the town hall. I don't have any problems sending out the letters and scheduling it. Those that show up, that's who will be head. That's who we'll have.
Well, those that show up, Mr. Lake, and is that the yeas and the nays we're going to count?
No, you count them all, because everybody would have to be,
You just mentioned
Thank you.
11, sir. The section 1 is 8 lots, and then it's divided by 300. Or no, I'm sorry, that's my mistake. It is 11 lots. That's a cul-de-sac street. Okay, and that
So-
is to, please,
that's just to talk about if everybody's having the same challenges with the subdivision drain, there's a mechanism to go through a process to remove that blockage, and who pays for it. That's what that
let's
process
be clear
is.
for this entire room. All 11 lots are not affected the same way. Lot number 1 is affected that way. But with multiple problems here. However, the county is being affected because the road at the culvert is rotting. The asphalt is cracked. That's probably due to the water that we've had there that day. Not counting the fact where the water washed over the street and under the asphalt, and washed the gravel out of the driveway next door to me, washed it into my property. So therefore, the county is at risk in the street department.
And that's where I would like Amber to address.
And
this.
Amber's here, our county engineer's here, she could address that.
I would like that as well. I'd like to
I guess before we address that, is this board interested in moving forward with the town hall? And if they are, then I would entertain that as a motion.
I guess I'd like to hear from all the neighbors, even though they're not affected. I'm not sure we would get a positive outcome, but, and I want you to know that. I'm not sure we would get a positive outcome from all the neighbors, but
I don't think we'll get a positive outcome. That's why I proposed putting in another 12-inch hooking into the 15 inches there, and that should put in more water on the low side than what we're getting now. So, and that's one solution, without going through all this town hall, but I just want it fixed. One way or the
I
other.
don't think she wants to.
I've got the only home that's gonna flood in this scenario this time.
Mr. Dodd, am I thinking that you made that motion?
I'm sorry.
Did I take that was a motion?
I didn't hear a motion.
Open town hall?
No, I didn't make that as a motion. I put that out as a point of discussion. But, you know, what I hear, quite honestly, is you want all the taxpayers of Howard County to fix it. That's what I hear. Am I wrong?
We want the county to fix the problem. It involves the road. It is the county's responsibility. The road is deteriorating. There's been a lot of money spent on that road. Repaving and what have you. Been a lot of money spent on the road, including to build back up with the bank on my side of the street. It's been done once already. Because now it's to the point where the erosion is about to level the edge of the asphalt is replacing. Deterioration, natural process. Yes, sir, it is the county's responsibility to fix the problem. The problem is the culvert.
Amber, I'm gonna ask you to come up, and is there a problem with that road?
Yes.
In my opinion, there's not necessarily an issue with that road in general. It's got, general maintenance problems that we have with every road in the county, but it's not necessarily any worse than anything else. It is a 12-inch pipe underneath the roadway that we have. We've looked into it. We can increase that size to as much as an 18-inch, but even that does not allow us to have our adequate 2 foot of cover over top of that structure. I have my guys go out and take some shots in there to figure out exactly what the elevations are. And the best I can do is go with an 18-inch pipe with the current elevations of the roadway and stuff. I can do that. The problem is, I don't know that that's really gonna fix the problem as they think it's gonna fix. It's currently got a 12-inch pipe. It's running fine. There might be a little bit of sediment in the bottom, just like with every pipe in the county, pretty much. We can clean it out. It's not really gonna increase the capacity all that much. But as far as, tying that into the existing 15-inch structure, I did send out, I don't know if you guys have in your packet, like a little diagram of what is existing out there. Because we took shots, and what you see is exactly what's out there. So our 12-inch pipe outlets, it's an open outlet, and it can drain into that 15-inch pipe. And if water is going over top of that grate, that means that 15-inch pipe is holding as much water as it can, and it's taking out as much water as it can. So it's not that water's not going into that 15-inch pipe, it's going in, it's just at capacity as well. During the storm that flooded the home that we're talking about, that was the 7.5-inch rain. There was flooding all over the county, and we don't design to accommodate for a 7.5-inch rain over 4 hours. I mean, that's more than what we can design for. So that's kind of what we're talking about. In a regular storm, the 12-inch pipe can handle that. Like I said, I can go up to an 18-inch pipe that can carry a little bit more water, but that's just going to get the water over to the east side of the road faster. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to solve the problem of the flooding of the house, because the house is still a little bit lower than those inlets. So I can do some things, but this problem is not uncommon in the county, where we have areas where the highway department is responsible for some of the drainage, and then the private owners are responsible for other sections of the drainage. And then we work together. If there's an issue on the private side, the private owners are responsible for fixing their end, and then I try to partner as much as I can. We had suggested at one point, taking their 15 or 20 or 24 or whatever they decide to put in for their private side, taking that all the way across the road. And I said, I could partner in paying for the cut across the roadway, because I'll increase my pipe as well at the same time. So we do try to partner with the private entities as much as we can, but we can't go out and just pay for everybody's private drainage, because this is happening all over the county. It's not a unique situation.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah.
What's this board, anything they need to tell Mr. Long tonight, where he goes from here?
One question that has to do with the future.
Like you said,
When
it's
phases 3 and 4
still gonna
are
back
put
up.
into place, with your current regulations of how to control rainwater runoff and that, what's that gonna do to your current situation in the street now with 12-inch culvert? How you gonna keep that from being exceedingly overdone?
That's where-
Protection of your road.
That's where the calculation for the detention basin would be quite a bit larger.
So you're saying the new regulation is gonna protect Mr. Long's property, the street?
I think Mr. Long is still going to get wet.
I'm sorry, sir?
I do believe Mr. Long still has the potential for flooding. If nothing's done today or in the future, he still has the potential for flooding.
That's what the futuristic question was about.
Yeah,
If you add
absolutely.
phases 3 and 4 in here, there's no,
It would help reduce the flooding to Mr. Long if 3 and 4 were built to today's standards. Absolutely, it would reduce his flooding, but he's still low enough that he's going to flood.
is there a possibility to change sections 1 and 2 and up to today's standards, since there wasn't any standards back in that time?
Not that I know of. It'd have to be re-subdivided.
In your opinion, what do we need to do to bring them to today's standards?
As far as the subdivision is concerned, or the outlet? Because the outlet
Whole
is,
sections of 1 and 2.
the proposed suggestion that I've made as far as replacing the line through the offsite easement to the west side of the road and upsizing the road culvert, that proposal would increase the capacity of the drainage system to where it would reduce the potential of flooding on Mr. Long's property. Now, could it still be exceeded? Absolutely. But from what we've seen in the past, the 7.5-inch rain, what we've described as far as upsizing that off-site drainage easement, the tile from a 15 to a 24, take it to the west side of the road, and you install an 18-inch culvert under the road, I don't believe Mr. Long would have flooding potential at the 100-year flood event. I think it would reduce it less than that.
There's nowhere else in sections 1 or 2 need to have any adjustments to bring it up to today's standards.
Not that I'm aware of, as far as, what it boils down to is the release rate from the subdivision. That's what today's standards are requiring. So in other words, you're taking all the water from those lots, and you're gonna put it into a storage area and release it a little at a time. That's what today's standards require, is to slow the water down, not speed it up.
All right, I don't see that where we have any further to go at this point, because we're just gonna wait till it washes the road out before it's correct.
I think it takes us right back to the point we were at the last meeting, is that highway department's willing to make the road cut, upgrade that, take it across the road, and, a potential fix is to do the open ditch past your barn, so that it doesn't wash out, your barn. But, we're right back there unless you want to do that town hall meeting to see if any of the neighbors are willing to help do something different. We're going in a circle here,
What we're really doing is chasing who's gonna pay for it. That's what we're
so,
really doing.
right.
Well, I wanna make one correction, Amber, I'm not sure what her last name is, but the road engineer, I looked at she said that the reason it wasn't going into the 18-inch or 15-inch tile that was there is because it was full. It was not full. I witnessed it after I went down and looked. The tile was not full of water. Water was going over the top of it, and it was not full backing up into coming out of that tile. So that is incorrect. I was an eyewitness of the water flowing out of that 12-inch culvert running over the top of the 15-inch fill tile, and it was not full of water. So that's an incorrect statement. That's why I proposed hooking into that 15-inch fill tile to resolve this. And I don't know if that would resolve it, but it sure is better than what happened before on the 14th of June.
I think tying that into the 15-inch tile, you're gonna cause yourself more problems. Because with it being open, it can get away right now. If it's tied into the 15-inch tile, it can't get away. So as that tile restricts, if there is tree root penetration in it, which I think there is, it's going to restrict the flow and cause you more problems. I don't think you wanna do that.
I'd like to break this down into two pieces, which has kind of been kicked around back and forth here. Moving forward with the correction under the road, the recommendation is to go to an 8-inch culvert, box drain, something of that nature. What's it gonna take to get that done?
You lost me. Ask that
Fix
question
the
again.
road.
The new culvert.
We're gonna give
So-
them the relief, or at least the.
So you're saying a larger road culvert?
Yep.
So the largest road culvert that Amber's willing to
Sir,
put
I'm not
in.
concerned about the largest road culvert. I wanna know what's it gonna take to get the tractors moving.
My concern is your property. If we put in that road culvert without the fix on the offsite easement, without that 15-inch being fixed, you're gonna flood out. That's what I said day one, was to protect your property.
I recall.
And if you want to replace that culvert with no fixing of that 15-inch and let water flow over land, I think that could probably be done, but it's going to cause you more flooding problems. His problem's going to become your problem.
I'm aware of what you just said, but you haven't answered my question.
How soon?
When can it start to be done?
I guess that would be up to Amber.
We'd have to look at our schedule. It might possibly happen this year, but I'm thinking it's probably more next summer, or next spring. We have a pretty tight schedule to get everything done before the winter hits
But it-
currently.
I guess if you wanted to do that, I would encourage this board to have you put that in writing, because I know that it's going to cause you more problems in the future.
My fear with that is if we make that fix, and you guys say you're gonna make a fix, if that doesn't happen, it's still gonna cause you more problems.
Would that not be my responsibility on my side of the street?
It would be.
That'd be my concern.
I mean, we can put something in writing.
Yeah, I don't have any problems going down that direction, I just,
I mean, we're not gonna get anywhere else anyway.
okay.
This is two meetings with the same flag and circled up. The only way to correct this problem at this point appears to be that the property owners have to pay for the change, which is what you proposed from street side meeting to this moment.
As far as the drain in the offsite easement, that is correct. So that it would not increase the overland flow on your property.
I'm gonna use some of your words. You said that if it overcomes the pipe, the flow, it still flow over.
Absolutely it
That's
would.
the only other option there is.
That's correct. Yep.
So regardless, I could put a 3-foot pipe in there. If it's too much water, it's still gonna flow over.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Bailey Estate subdivision, Rudy, I won't say it again.
Well, I think you need a public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is true. Motion to recess the regular drainage board and go to a public hearing.
So moved?
Motion by Mr. Byram, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dodd, all in favor?
Aye.
We're in the, public hearing. Go ahead, sir.
Rudy Bugsby, Randall Miller and Associates, Surveying Engineering, 45 East 3rd Street, Marion, licensed surveyor, representing Bailey Estates subdivision. What we have before you is a one-lot subdivision. It's got a 30-foot access way back, leading back to a 4.39 acre parcel. We have received a variance for the 30 foot to get back to the property. Mr. Bailey has gotten approval on the soils for a septic, and at this point, we're asking for drainage board approval to move forward with the
Okay, thank you. Questions for Rudy?
Did you put those soil borings on the new plat? Because I didn't see it.
I have not.
Okay. Yes, please, so we can see the elevation difference between the location of the new proposed site versus the drain.
Okay.
Questions from this board, comments? Public comment? And entertain a motion at this time to accept Bailey Estate subdivision.
So moved.
Second?
A motion by Mr. Bray and a second by Mr. Byram. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Are you sticking around or not? You can look at this.
Cromley Crossing subdivision, Elaine
I
Phelps.
can't find it on this size.
Even don't pull up there, like, certain information
If you want to look at that, just let me
Carbon
know.
Crossing is a one-lot subdivision.
It's not there, not needs to be.
Which is our client's
The orifice
tax
is not installed.
parcel. We're draining the lot, but we proposed on-site 6-inch tile near the south property line and daylight at 788. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to share them.
Questions for Elaine? Any public comment? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Cromley Crossing subdivision.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Dodd, a second by Mr. Allery. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes. Promise Wedding Estate Site Plan, public hearing, Tory Tripp and Elaine Phelps.
Tori Tripp, Tripp Engineering Consulting, 401 South Second Street, Converse. This is Promise Wedding Estates. It is located on County Road 1150 East, which is south of Greentown. This is a one-lot subdivision containing 6.57 acres. The site will include a chapel, an event center, and associated parking that will all drain to a detention area that will discharge to a culvert that goes under County Road 1150 East that discharges to the Wildcat Creek. When we were here 2 weeks ago, Mr. Lake had asked about us adding a grass strip around the detention area so that we could filter out anything that would come from the parking lot. We reduced the number of parking spots and did add that grass filter strip. So I can answer any questions that you guys have.
Questions for Ms. Tripp?
I got a quick question. There's some print in about an area, this area is flood fringe per DNR best available. What is that?
That's floodplain.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
floodplain,
what it-
so it's not buildable.
Okay, that's all it's saying.
Yeah,
They're not gonna build there.
Right.
that's us saying you can't build there.
Okay.
Yep, we actually had a wetland delineation done,
Thank you, here.
and on the actual prints, we have a wetland line that we're not to cross.
Okay.
And it's actually outside of whatever you see on that.
Did you have a question?
It's a lot of words for can't build there.
Well, it's a way of telling it.
I understand. Thank you.
How many
Cars will be parked around here. How many people will you have on site?
We have 99 parking spaces. And the event center, I think it's around 200 people is what they're kind of limiting the venue to.
200, I think it's.
Yeah.
Two-car?
Do you have any issues with the number of people?
The only item I have is they have not obtained their stormwater permit as of yet. So I would ask that dependent upon what you guys do, if you do want to approve this moving forward, I would ask that it be contingent upon the stormwater permit being approved first.
Any public comment? Come on up.
Hi, Michael DeVore. I'm the landowner just around the outside where this wedding venue is gonna be. And what is this gonna do to cut off the drainage for the farm around there? Because the way that lane lays, the only place that farm can drain is, I'm assuming, right where they're wanting to build. I just wanna know what kind of drainage is gonna be in place to prevent my field from not getting over
Mr. Lake, do you have an answer for that, or?
I would have Tori respond to that, but the majority of that drainage, in my understanding, or the way it appears, is it runs through a swale in the woods, which is part of that wetland and floodplain area.
Right, I just wanted to make sure that nothing that they were gonna build was gonna cut off.
No,
Anything going-
everything has to be outside of
Okay.
that. It'll be on the west side of that ravine, and that's where your drainage should end up going, entering the north end of their property at that ravine and carrying through. But I would let you guys answer that.
That's okay.
And then they also have some roadside drainage that shouldn't be affected because you have a culvert that comes across the road on the west side of their venue.
Yes, and we're actually offloading there's two culverts. There's a western one and an eastern one. Our detention area is draining through the eastern one. And the way that I've graded the site is to take our site through the eastern one. So we're actually offloading some of our current flow off that western one.
What's the wishes of this board? Oh, is there another public comment?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry.
would you rather have the stormwater? Rather table it?
I live just on the other side of this property at 11884 and I'm just really concerned about all the drainage. I know, this all sounds good, but we spent a lot of money 25, 30 years ago putting tiles through our fields. And I know Mr. DeVore has too, and it all drains to that area. I don't know what their plans are, but
I really don't want something going wrong with all the drains that we spent a lot of money putting in. And, I know that's not got anything to do with this, but, I'm a landowner, and, it about makes me sick and it about makes me cry. My wife and I were on our horses today, and we rode to the back of our property, and, they're back there with huge tile machines just going to town, you know. And there's ditches all over those fields. I know they're not gonna do anything to them. They're going right through them, they're doing what they're doing. It's just a shame to me to see what's happening out there in eastern Howard County, and that you guys let that happen. It's just a dirty, rotten shame that it's, I mean, I've lived there all my life. I grew up out there. And to see what's going on out there and the mess they're creating out there. And then this, I mean, it's one thing right after another. I mean, like I said, I know he spent money, we've spent money. It really is aggravating. So, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I just had to get my piece in there, so.
One more public comment?
Okay.
Dan C. Gray, 2565 South, 1150 East. I too have water that drains over on their property. As you said, it meanders down through a, how'd you call that?
A ravine?
A ravine, yeah. But that ravine, that water's fed by a couple hundred acres. And now you're wanting to add drainage off into that, off the surface drain, off the parking lot that was never there before. I maintain that if you'd look at that ravine, you'd understand pretty quick that it's not been maintained in 40 to 50 years. It was always good enough, status quo. When you go adding surface water to it, it may not be good enough, so you may want to see about having that dredged out, shaped up for the additional water. Bottom line is, I don't want anything to affect the drainage water of our farm. Okay? Fair enough? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Greg, is this surface water going to affect the drainage tile that these farmers have up there?
So, for the board and for those in the audience, our ordinances are quite a bit different today than they were back in the 90s. Before, we discharged water as fast as we could get rid of it. That's the way Indiana's been. We've had some changes occur due to the capacity of our regulated drains and of our drainage systems, to where we started requiring development to hold water back. So in other words, they had to put in a detention basin. And the original intent was what we call a 10-100. So pre-development 10-year, whatever that flow was leaving that property, they would have to put that in a pond and hold that same amount for 100-year post-development. So if you build a parking lot, you would have to take that 100-year storm off that parking lot, put it in a basin, and hold it and release it at the pre-developed rate. Okay, that wasn't good enough. It caused people downstream to get a 10-year rain event every time it rained. So there was some problems with it. So we changed our ordinance again in 2012, I think it was. We went to a 0.3 discharge rate. So that same 100-year rain event, instead of looking at what the conditions are today, we just say you can't discharge any more than a 0.3 cubic feet per second per acre on a 100-year rain event. Okay, so to put that in context, asphalt runs off 100%. A woods runs off around that 0.3 range. So if you had a yard or grass or row crops, it's at a higher rate of runoff. With developments now, they have to contain all that water on their site and only let it off at that 0.3. So in reality, this development should improve the drainage in that ravine, because the water is not going to get to that ravine as quickly as it does today. It will be held on site in their detention basin for that 24 to 48 hour time period. So it increases the time and concentration to get water off the site. So as we develop, due to changing our ordinances, it costs more money to develop this way, but that's to protect the downstream landowners and upstream that you're trying to get passed through water through that project. Does that answer your question? Okay.
What's this board's wishes at this time?
So they're gonna have a detention basin on this property?
Where's it gonna be?
Yes, there is a
Where at?
detention basin on this property.
So does that mean they're putting a pond in on this property?
There is, yes.
There is no pond there now.
There is not currently, no, but there will be when
Where's
they,
that gonna be put in at?
it will be placed on this southeast corner and all the parking lot and stuff, and the buildings will sheet flow into that basin.
I mean, that's right there by where the natural flow of the water's at there.
Correct. They have to capture that and take it into their calculations. So the basin's gonna be right in this area.
Right there.
What's this board's wishes at this time? Die for lack of emergency.
This is the subdivision.
Well, according to Greg, it's getting better.
I guess, Mike, I don't have a problem with it. I would consider continuing it because I don't think you have the site plan. You just have the subdivision.
Right.
Tori, did you submit a site plan
I
for
submitted
drainage
one to
board?
you.
For drainage board, did you submit a site plan on that or just the subdivision documents?
I submitted something, I sent the packet to you too, so.
I know that you uploaded the construction plans into stormwater, but I didn't know if you submitted anything to the drainage board for site plan approval.
I sent the drainage report and the plans to you and Michelle.
Was it the, I know I reviewed the drainage report.
I think it was back on August 21st, it was after the last.
But was that, the site plan was with that
Yeah, it
that
was the
document
whole,
was
it
in
was
it?
the whole civil set.
Okay. We do have that if you want to see it.
It's been my last time. Is there any action by this board?
I'd move that we continue this to next meeting. It seems like we're missing information, and she has to get her stormwater.
Got a motion by Mr. Ulrey to continue this till the next meeting,
I'll second that.
seconded by Mr. Byram. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. New business, Whispering Oak subdivision, Elaine Phelps. Before we go to new business, we've got to close the public hearing. Have a motion to close the public hearing back to the regular drainage board.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. Ulrey and a second by Mr. Dodd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're back to regular drainage board, new business, Whispering Oak subdivision.
Elaine Phelps for survey, 118 South Whispering Oaks is a one-lot subdivision in Tennessee, 1.864 acre. This subdivision encompasses the entire parcel owned by Alpine, from granular outlet to an 36-inch tile on site. Request by 24,750, please.
Question for Ms. Phelps?
I have a statement. Wayne, we went out and looked at the drain on this site. The tile is a 6-inch clay tile. It is half full.
And I emailed you guys and asked, do you want us to put a new tile in there, and I got no response.
Yeah, I don't know that I can tell you to put in a new tile, is probably why we haven't responded to you. I can tell you that I did talk to Health about it a little bit. For your owner, a new tile would be the best solution, yes. I would think that a newer tile would be a better solution, because he's going to have problems with this tile.
Can you just go across the property with a new tile?
It depends on what it looks like at the end of his property. I mean, if it's still half full of mud, what have you gained? That's the challenging part. And I don't know that there's a mechanism in place that's going to force you to put in a new tile. I bring it to the attention of this board that the tile is not in good shape. It is free flowing, but it's half full of mud. So you have a 6-inch tile that's half full of mud. And I don't believe that Health has any rules or regulations that require it to be a certain diameter. So, I guess my question to this board would be, what do you want to do? Do we want to change something? Do we need to change? I mean, us looking at, yeah, I know it goes off site, and that's part of the problem. So the reason we go out and look at tile, is just how this became, is back in the 90s, we had several subdivisions get approved by the drainage board that the tile mysteriously was no longer there because it was never dug up and looked at. So having a conversation with Jake back then, he said he would go out and start looking at the drains, these tiles on subdivisions, so that we could ensure there was a tile on site. And that's what he started to do. That was in '98. And we've done that ever since 1998. We've gone out and looked at the drains, said, yep, drain's there. It's free flowing, so in other words, water's not standing in it. And it appears to have enough depth to accommodate a septic. So that's what you've heard me report on every one of these subdivisions. We've not done any tile sizing or anything of that nature. This particular one, I try to bring up any concerns that I think we'll have in the future. This is one of the concerns. We have a half-full 6-inch tile. So it would be up to this board on how you would like to handle that. Or the owner if they have a proposed fix for it. I'm just giving the board information and telling the owner it's not a good tile.
Okay, I have a question. If that tile's in an easement, he has the right to go in and fix that tile? If it's off-site?
If it's an off-site easement, I would think so.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just a mutual drain, or I know
It's
that
not
tile,
raised, but it
I know
doesn't-
that tile runs all the way to the road
Yes. Yeah.
there at the corner. And I know it's not in good shape all the way to the road. I've been told it's not in good shape.
That's not horrible.
No, it's not. But there's some concerns there. So just FYI, the tile is free flowing. It's just, to me, it's undersized.
Does this board want to set this for the 15th? For a public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Olery. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Dodd. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
September 15th, 5 o'clock.
We're flowing.
Public hearing. Sycamore Meadows subdivision, Elaine.
All right, plastic tiles adjacent areas regulated from the south property line. We request permission to connect to that regulated from, request a public hearing for September 15th.
Questions for Elaine? Hearing none, I accept a motion for a public hearing on September 15th. Got a motion by Mr. Dodd. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ulrey. All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes. September 15th at 5 o'clock. Barrel House Compound subdivision, Elaine.
Barrel House Compound subdivision is a one-lot subdivision encompassing 9.59 acres. The Brimmer Ring will outlet through a proposed 6-inch tile going northeast through an easement created by the plat and outlet into the 6-inch existing 6-inch tile along the county road 1280 west. I request public hearing for the 15th.
Questions for Ms. Phelps? If not, entertain a motion to accept for the public hearing on September 15th.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bray. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dodd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That passes as well. And lastly, on the new business is Journey's End subdivision and Elaine again.
The Journey's End subdivision is a land subdivision encompassing 2.24 acres. Another drain will outlet into an open ditch north of the lot through an easement created by the plat. I request public hearing for September 15th.
Questions for Elaine about Journey's End subdivision? If not, entertain a motion for September 15th for a public hearing.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Ulrey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Byram. All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes as well. Any further discussion from other business from this board? Any other public comment? None, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Byram, do I have a second? Second. Second by Mr. Dodd, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.